In the vineyard, we've seen soil improvements in terms of pH and organic matter. We've seen loads of seasons come and go, and we've been able to weather the disease threats without any concern about as to the commercial viability of the vineyard. We've also been able to measure the general vine health through nutrition, and all the nutrition measurements are saying that the vines are as happy or happier than they've ever been. So the cropping level is not that much different, very similar to what it was at the previous high input chemical fertiliser approach, and so we haven't lost crop. But most importantly to us, we've got quality. That's the most important thing, and it's hard to define exactly what is quality in grapes, but we've got very good quality grapes for wine, and obviously if awards or anything to show by, then we've been very successful in turning this property into an even better, more sustainable, high quality grape producer. The interesting thing is that we've also been able to get flavour ripeness for grapes earlier in the season, and all a farmer ever wants to do is pick his crop or her crop earlier in the year, because the longer it's out in nature, the more risks it runs. In terms of winery practices, we've been able to conserve energy. We're recycling water, so we're actually using less introduced water to the property per litre of wine that we make. So we're conserving the resources and the energy that it takes to produce increasing amounts of wine. Some of the lessons learnt are that any farmer, after all the education that you have, you come back to your own site and you have to learn to manage that the best way you can to get the outcomes you want. That sometimes means you're going against and questioning the education that you had in the first place. There's a thing called conventional wisdom, which I often don't think is very wise. And so therefore sometimes you've got to actually back yourself to get the results you want without and disregard some of the activities, the principles that are being carried on around you. Sometimes being a little bit of a heretic works. It's a natural input farm that's performing commercially, and it's performing at a quality level better than before. As far as being able to achieve that on an ongoing basis, it doesn't mean, however, that I don't keep reviewing the practices on the farm, looking for new inputs, looking for answering the question why is this happening, and coming up with a new answer. So to think that there's a management program that just runs automatically now year after year, this is not a mindless activity. This is something you've just got to keep working at, and the program will change from year to year, I'm sure, and it continues to change dynamically according to whatever the conditions are thrown at us by global warming or anything else in terms of natural farming hazards or difficulties. This farm will be a better farm for whoever takes it over, my descendants, than the one that I inherited. I think that's worth considering. I think that as far as the social issues are concerned, I think there's never been a time like now to deliver a clean product, and there's no question that there's recognition now that not all products that you're buying commercially are clean. To go out into the world with something that is really an organic product, where most of the products produced by this country aren't organic, gives you a real leg in. So I think it's a plus.